Right, you know the drill, people. It's time once again for you all to shut up and sit down. Now, I know people want answers as to what happened last week with the Blood Brothers. And as usual, you idiots see something go wrong and then instantly blame me for it. I had absolutely nothing to do with their attack. However, I did tell them before that they are the next contenders for the tag team titles. Well, and then I guess after that, they just took matters into their own hands. So don't you go blaming me. You're a son of a bitch, you know that? I mean, do you even hear yourself sometimes? You didn't tell them to do it, you just gave them the reason to do it. Because you knew, and they knew, that if I was in the chamber, they wouldn't have their match at lockdown. You are a piece of work. Are you that afraid of us, of two people, that you had to get your own personal helpers? I'd say that that's a new low for you, but we know that it's not. Shut up and sit down, boy. Know your place. I've already said that I didn't do anything. So if I were you, I'd drop it before I drop you. Listen, I am a fair man, believe it or not. So you can go and get your revenge tonight. The main event will be the Blood Brothers and Max Danger in a 6-man tag match against you, the Wolfpac, and the ace, Peter Bolton. But make no mistakes, you won't be in the chamber, and you will be defending your tag titles against the Blood Brothers. So we ain't got much time tonight, let's get things going. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs, and welcome to another episode of Friday Fight Night here. We are on episode 72, I believe now, of the series. And it's crazy how high the number is rising. But to kick off tonight's show, we have another television title open challenge. And look who has come out to answer the call. Well, with his tag team partner injured, it looks like he's pursuing a singles title. Deathlordicus has come out to answer the call of Big Willie's open challenge to start tonight's show. Well, Big Willie, we know, almost unbeatable when the title's on the line, but Deathlordicus could be unbeatable on any given night. One of the most unpredictable, unique superstars in WIW history. Such a hard opponent to face up against because you never know what he's going to do, what he's going to bring to the table. We know, of course, his two big moves being the split-legged moonsault and the mandible claw. But what we don't know is what everything happens in between. And Deathlordicus stepping up to the task tonight to deal with Big Willie, who I believe is about to make his way down to the ring as the horns of war will sound, marking the ring entrance of the television champion Big Willie. The current title reign in days stands at 154. 22 weeks as WIW television champion, of course, winning it all the way back at Warzone, which feels like a lifetime ago now, and 22 weeks as the television champion. And people were asking in the comments, surely he's broken the record for most title defenses, and to be honest, it's not even close. Of course he did. By an absolute landslide, he smashed it. We'll have to calculate how many exactly, and I'll get back to you on that one next week. But 154 is where the title reign stands today. The longest reign in WIW history, I believe. Maybe bar King Sam's reign as WIW champion. That I can clarify for you. Oh, wait, no, because they both began their reigns at the same time. Yeah, of course they did. They began their reigns at the same time. So, Big Willie's television championship reign is the longest in title history. And here comes the television championship on the line. Again, Big Willie defends. Def Lordicus tonight answering the challenge. His tag team partner's out injured, but can he take advantage now and capture the title, becoming a fan favorite as of late, him and the Def Ninjas. But tonight, Def Lordicus gets himself an opportunity at the television championship against this man, the most dominant champion that there's ever been on WIW. For God's sake, every time. Excuse me. Big Willie, the most dominant champion of all time, 154-day title reign, and most title defenses in WIW history. No doubt, this man is the most dominant champion ever, and you can't imagine that if he ever does lose that title, he's going back to this one again, and not to the World Championship picture. Apologise for my sneezing. I will try to limit that in this video if I can, but as you know, never well is Darren Jacobs. Anyway, let's do this. Bell rings, and away we go. And straight out the gate, Def Lordicus with the strike, but Big Willie saying, my strike's bigger than yours. And now look at this, just picking him up. Oh, just to slam him back down. And Def Lordicus, we know, is a tough fight for many. A very unorthodox fighter, so unique, so unexpected. You don't know what you're going to get when you get into the ring with him, but Big Willie just going to use his thunderous amount of power behind the strikes to get control of this match early. And now playing to the crowd as he likes to do. He's becoming a fan favorite, but that's only because they're going to have to learn to respect him as champion, because that man just doesn't appear to be ever losing this title. And already looking to put this one away, Def Lordicus in trouble. Wait, no! He couldn't connect with it. He couldn't connect. Def Lordicus reverses the powerbomb. And Def Lordicus not giving up that easy, it would appear. But he's under a lot of pressure as the TV champion just continues to mount the offense. He's lining it up one more time. Can he connect this time? Def Lordicus, thanks for stopping by. Oh, and he's laying off the ropes for leverage. The powerbomb. And it's an intentional rope break, you feel. Big Willie wants to enjoy himself here tonight. Well, Def Lordicus about to suffer the same fate as everyone else, it will appear. And is there just any slowing this man down? When the title is on the line, he's almost unstoppable. No one even coming close to slowing him down. Def Lordicus, though, trying to turn the tide in this match. There's a DDT. And look at this, Def Lordicus getting himself hyped up, getting the crowd hyped up. Almost to say he wants to come back into this matchup, and he might just be able to do that. If he can find some life here in this match. There's a clothesline, and another clothesline. Big Willie slowly losing the control of this match. And now look at this. Def Lordicus, what a surprise upset that would be if Def Lordicus was to walk out of here the television champion. A massive clothesline. And now to the corner where he lines him up again. The massive running knee inbound, and imagine the force that must be behind this knee. Oh no, he sidestepped it. He sidesteps the knee. Big Willie in shock. Def Lordicus providing a counter to everything right now. First the running powerbomb, he did manage to connect with one of them, but he did counter the first one. Oh dear. And now looking to snap the poor body in half of Def Lordicus with a massive superplex off the top rope. That could be enough to wrap it up here tonight. No, it's only a 2. Def Lordicus kicks out. Well, it's got to be said that Dino D put up more offense than Def Lordicus, but he's surviving for longer at the second. But this is becoming, that's what is sad, really. The fact that it's becoming an achievement for to stay in the ring for 5 minutes with Big Willie. Never mind trying to take the championship out of that man's hands, which I'm not even sure it's possible at this point. There's a suplex. The 154-day title reign of television champion Big Willie, who is enjoying himself here tonight. And now, after taunting to the crowd, saying that it's over, he lines up Wwe2K18, thanks for coming, Wwe2K18, but it's over. Running powerbomb one more time, and Big Willie retains, just like that. Unbelievable. 154 days as the television champion, and the reign still continues. What a beatdown that was. Wwe2K18 tried everything he could to get back into that match, but after that superplex, it was basically lights out. And then one more running powerbomb for added emphasis. And the television champion retains once again. Well, Big Willie is just an unstoppable force at times. And especially when that title is on the line once again, successfully has defended the television championship. Another big victory for this man to kick off tonight's show. And I'm not even sure he needs to go to lockdown at this point. Currently, he's not booked on the card. Maybe he'll make an appearance, we don't know. But Big Willie once again retaining the television championship. Let's move on down the rest of the card after a big win from Big Willie. Next up tonight, some women's action. And we are going to get to see a rematch of Final Conflict, but it is only non-title. Laura Stables will be going face-to-face with Tashley here tonight, and here comes the Fight Night Women's Champion. We now know who her opponent is for Lockdown pay-per-view, and it is Shannon Austin, who is next in line to take the title. She earned that right last week by winning the Fatal 4-Way match against Vicky Valentine, Violet, and one other person who is not springing to mind at the second, but Laura Stables ready to go, ready to fight here tonight against Tashley. Tashley calling her out, saying that her win wasn't a valid one, it was a fluke, and she could only beat her on count out because she was scared of her. Well, tonight Laura Stables not putting the title on the line, but out here to prove that that is not true. But the question is, can she beat her in the ring tonight without the need of count out? And the next one down to the ring, Tashley, making her way down, the glowing star who has risen to the top of the ranks and all the way to Final Conflict to get herself a women's championship match against Laura Stables. But Laura Stables had to resort to the count out victory to pick up the win against Tashley. Now, Tashley, remember, we'd already wins against both personas of Laura Stables, the Fight Night Women's Champion, who has been champion for, I believe, about 3 or 4 months now, somewhere in that region. And Tashley wanted to be the one to dethrone her, but unfortunately she hasn't been. And of course, the general manager not making any promises towards Tashley and when she'll get another one, but she believes she's entitled to one more. And that's why tonight she's out here in non-title action to give her a match. And we'll see what Laura Stables can bring to the table. Bell rings and away we go. And look at this, Stables straight out the gate. But she gets caught by Tashley and into a suplex. And that's not what she wanted to do. She didn't want to charge at her. That was showing sign of weakness already. Showing that Tashley is getting in her head. These two, not exactly friends. Tashley has done nothing but threaten her the entire time that she's been gunning for the title. And now Tashley's backed her up into the corner. And the referee having to force the break. And you can see the hostility between these two. No, not friends by any means or at any level. And now from behind, just going to slam her down onto the mat. That's very good chain wrestling. And the women really like to do the chain wrestling and start off, just getting feel for one another. It's because they're all pretty evenly matched here, or at least on the Fight Night Women's Division. There's a backbreaker and wrenching away on her there as well as Laura Stables. Stables non-title action here tonight, but you better believe that if Tashley could pull off another upset victory, we may be looking at a triple threat at Lockdown. And of course, remember, with the Steel Cage or Hell in a Cell added addition, that's going to make things even harder for Laura Stables to retain. And she won't be able to win any of those matches on count out of disqualification. Plus, of course, making it 10 times harder for her because she doesn't have to be involved in the decision to lose the championship. So Stables doesn't want to make that happen. She doesn't want that to go down that way. And tonight, she's trying her best to make sure it doesn't. But Tashley came out the gate strong, and now she's having to fight back But Tashley refusing to back down once again. Again, the general manager has made no promises of a triple threat. But Tashley, of course, believing she deserved one more chance, and the general manager offered it to her because clearly he felt some injustice was done there after losing the final conflict match on count-out. And, of course, she did have champion's advantage. She had every right to do so. But, of course, she called it the coward's way out. She called it, you know, you're cheating. She believed that she wouldn't have been able to pin her, and that's exactly why she did what she did. She's looking to prove that here again tonight. And now to the top rope goes Tashley, begging her to get back to her feet here. And what can she bring to the table? Oh, and a beautiful Hurricane Rana. And she's going to hook the legs off of it from the top rope. She kicks out at 2. And Tashley on a roll here to start. The crowd not exactly behind her in her actions. Of course, she's been ambushing the women's champion for weeks now. And the women's champion only just starting to get her own payback on her. And she got the last laugh, of course, at Final Conflict. And now, right now, wearing the legs, maybe looking for a submission victory. It's a good limb target in there from the stables and a beautiful little cross body from the middle rope. She's going to go to the cover off of it. She's only going to get a 1 count. Early days still in this match. Oh, and now look at this, bringing her back to her feet, raking the eyes. And just time to time, you can see that darker side of Laura Stables waiting to just burst out. I'm half expecting her to just transform into this, you know, demonic woman who just ambushes everyone, but she does well to maintain it composure once the persona has been chosen for her, and was maybe setting up for end of days there. Tashley decided against it. Oh, and a very nice power bomb there. And now further work on the legs maybe. Oh wait, no, scooping out up here. What's she thinking? Oh, and a wheelbarrow face buster to Tashley. And these two fighting hard here in this one. Neither woman backing down. Once again, Tashley scooped up. What's she thinking here? Crushes her into the turnbuckle and then tosses her halfway across the ring. She's going to go into the cover off of this. The women's champion trying to show her strength, but she can't really get more than a 1 right now. Tashley providing more of a fight maybe than she anticipated. But then again, she should have anticipated a big one here. Look at it. There's a counter. Look at this. Leg drop. Leg drop from Tashley. That could easily be enough. It's done it in the past. Stables is in trouble here. Into the cover goes Tashley to pin the women's champion. It's a 2 count. Well, that was very, very close from Tashley indeed. That nearly wrapped up the match for her. Now look at this. Gets her by the throat and a choking STO. Showing she'll do whatever it takes. And now look at this, to the opposite side of the ropes. Tashley looking to fly potentially. Look at this. Oh, and a beautiful springboard there from Tashley. And Stables is forced to roll out the ring. And now what can she do? Stables, she needs to fight back because Tashley has had her number here tonight. And she needs to do something big to get herself back in the match. And this isn't where she's going to want to be, in the power slam position as she's stunned off the top rope. Now being brought back to her feet, Tashley not backing down or letting up for a second. That's what you've got to do against the women's champion, especially one that has been dominant up until this point. But of course that count-out victory to Tashley suggesting a sign of weakness there. And look at that. Little double stomp there on both eyes of the champion. And now raking her eyes as well, trying to completely blind her here. Oh, and there's a suplex. Tashley on a roll right now. And now look at this big kick to the gut. What's she thinking here? Oh, and there's a drop kick right to the face of the champion. And is that going to be enough for Tashley to put away Laura Stables? It's done. Tashley's done it. She proved her point. She did what she set out to do. And that was to beat the Fight Night Women's Champion once again. Well, she's done it one more time here. And Stables collects her title and holds it high, almost to say that I still am the champion. You get nothing here. And look at this. Shannon's out here as well. Well, of course, we know that she's next in line for this title, but I think Tashley just made a valid argument that she deserves one more shot at Laura Stables. So what will the general manager decide? Will we be seeing a triple threat for the Fight Night Women's Championship at Lockdown? I don't know. It's still to be determined, but we'll have to find out soon enough. It is time to move on down the rest of the card. And now look at this, backstage. Oh no, not again. This time ambushing Murica before he even gets a chance to make his entrance. Look at this. Griffiths just showing what type of champion, again, he wants to be. And look at this, just beating him down. Backstage now, and this is getting beyond the joke at this point. Griffiths just ambushing everybody eligible for the Cruiserweight Championship. Well, he said the year of the butter was coming and that no one would be safe when it does. It's finally here, I guess, now that he's captured his first championship here in WIW. But this is not exactly how I expected things to go down. But I guess he has stayed true to his word. He said he'd put the entire locker room on notice, and that's exactly what he's trying to do here. But Murica fighting back strong, refusing to get let in. And remember, of course, in the trial era, he was a Cruiserweight champion himself, Murica. And he also knows exactly what type of corruption can come from being champion. He felt it himself. And now look at this. Griffiths trying to keep in control here. He started this fight and he can't afford to let himself lose it. But Griffiths, this is just uncalled for. It's just so unnecessary here. Oh, it crashes him into the door. And Griffiths sends warnings to everyone. First it was Daniel Robertson, then it was, who was it last week? Then it was El Estrella Chico, and now this week it's Murica who gets hit with the briefcase by Griffiths. And Griffiths trying to make sure that no one can even compete for the Cruiserweight Championship. Super kicking. Did you see Murica's head ricochet off the wall? Oh, and now look at this. Oh, and again! Tossing him into the wall, and his back hit the corner of the desk as well there. Griffiths being absolutely ruthless. And the general manager's got to do something about this sooner rather than later, because he's just dismantling the entire Cruiserweight division, and he knocks out another one here tonight. Well, is there going to be anyone left to fight Griffiths, or will Griffiths just have to tear down the whole locker room if it means he doesn't have to defend his championship? Well, we'll have to find out soon enough. We're going to have to move on down the rest of the card again, but we're going to need some medical staff down here to look at Murica. Next up tonight, one of two qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber WIW Heavyweight Championship match at Lockdown, and the first man down to the ring is Wilson Woodward. Now, he made a promise a couple of weeks ago to the champion directly that he would be the first to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Of course, that didn't turn out to come to fruition, of course, because Peter Bolton was the first, in fact, to qualify. We will see Peter Bolton in-ring action later tonight in the main event. But for Wilson Woodward, history is what he's here to do. He made it by being the first ever participant in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He couldn't walk out the winner on the day. Max Danger did. But could you imagine how differently things would have turned out for Woodward had he had won that match? Clearly, his whole trajectory would have changed. But he's here tonight to qualify for a chance at the champion, as he promised that he would get. And he's up against, look at this, a returning superstar who has been out of action for quite some time, but is ready to return for a shot at the WIW Heavyweight Championship. Trevor Jackson is back following the last time we saw him. Of course, he was absolutely dismantled by John Cutter, and we haven't seen him in in-ring action since, but Trevor Jackson is back, and he's ready to go for the Elimination Chamber. Well, of course, we've seen the best and the worst of Trevor Jackson. He's been absolutely fantastic in the ring, and we know what he can do and the full capabilities that he possesses. But tonight, he's got one hell of a challenge, coming back from injury to try to qualify for a chamber match. This is going to be hard for him. It's going to be a hard month, but if he can make it through this one, then he's on to the right tracks. So Wilson Woodward looking to get things going straight away. Not going to waste any time here. And there's a Lufes press to Trevor Jackson. And for Trevor Jackson, of course, there's going to be a question of in-ring capabilities here tonight, because we don't know to what extent he's healthy, to what extent he's ready to get back in-ring action. He's been out of the ring for so long. There's obviously going to be some ring rust, and Wilson Woodward is taking full advantage of that fact here tonight. He's going to go for the early cover, though. Wilson Woodward just trying to secure a place in the chamber, but doesn't even get a count there. Wilson Woodward stomping away, and he's suffered a couple of losses as of late, Wilson Woodward. He hasn't exactly been on the winning form that he would have liked, but for Wilson Woodward, he's just trying to get himself back on top, back in control as he once was. Of course, Wilson Woodward, a very dominant fighter back at the beginning of WIW, and as I mentioned, the first person to qualify for the Money in the Bank. And of course, after that, that's where things really took a nosedive for him. Big drop kick there from Trevor Jackson. And for Wilson Woodward, it's all about making statements, making history, cementing his legacy, and that's what he's trying to do. But Trevor Jackson, it's about victory, and it's about title success. Of course, Trevor Jackson never really got his shot at the television championship. It was deprived from him by John Cutter. And of course, John Cutter, as we fought for a while, was the biggest threat to Big Willie's championship reign, but unfortunately for John, it didn't quite come through fruition. He failed on 2 attempts to capture the television championship. And now look at this, looking for the neck breaker there on Trevor Jackson. And Trevor Jackson, I'm sure he would have wanted revenge, but then again, it was all fair when they were both going for the fight. They both hated each other, and they both knew that, but again, they were very similar fighters at the time. Recently let go of the burdens that they had faced in the past, and ready to excel and push for title gold, but unfortunately only one man could burst out onto the scene, and that was Trevor Jackson. Oh, and there's a little DDT from Trevor Jackson. Oh no, it wasn't Trevor Jackson, sorry, it was John Cutter. And now look at this, tried to go for a sidewalk slam, scooping him up, but well countered there by Wilson Woodward, and a pretty 50-50 match to start off here. And straight after this one, we'll have another qualifying match, so we will find out 2 new entries to the Elimination Chamber here tonight. And of course, this is going to be a very weird match at Lockdown, because it's going to be the first match, I believe, in WIW Championship, or the second match in WIW Championship history without King Sam in it. Of course, the only other one that didn't was Ryan Austin versus Original Brad for the World Heavyweight Championship in the finals of the tournament all the way back at Resurrection. But of course, Sam was still competing for a title on that day. He was part of the television championship match, even though he decided to let Travis win it and take the fall and win in a record time of 4 seconds, or might have even been 3. And now, back to his feet, Trevor Jackson. Oh, look at that, there's a little drop kick right to the face of Wilson Woodward. And Woodward struggling here on the outside. Trevor Jackson, as we know, quite a brawlerish fighter, likes to do the damage on the outside if he can. The count is rising, though, and this is not what neither man would want to see, because if they don't get back into the ring, big problems could occur, and he's crashed him into the apron. Count of 8. And is one of them going to settle for the count out? No, there's the count of 9, and they're both back in the ring. And now look at this. What's he going for here? Oh, and a wheelbarrow neck breaker to Trevor Jackson. And Wilson Woodward bringing out the big guns here tonight, doing whatever it takes to get himself a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity. Well, he's had his run-ins with the champion already, and I'm sure the champion will be watching on here as he gets him up on the shoulders. Woodward has him in a great position here, slams him down onto the apron, moves him away from the ropes. The referee's called a rope break. Wait, what? Why is that a rope break? He intentionally put himself there to separate him from the ropes. I don't see where the rope break was. Nonetheless, the referee has called it, and Wilson Woodward back to the drawing board. Now Trevor Jackson has an opening here to get back into this match. Oh, roll him up here, trying to steal it. 1. Oh, and he's only going to get the 1. Trevor Jackson. You can see the ring rust, but you can also see that the basic fundamentals coming out of him here, and he's using them to full effect. And Wilson Woodward now needs to go back to the drawing board. He thought he had this match won there, wrapped up, and so did I. The referee calls a rope break, though. Quite a curious decision, considering some of the rope breaks that he should have called in the past and hasn't, and that's the one he's decided not to call. And now, in trouble here, is Wilson Woodward. Trevor Jackson trying to get his way back into this match. Was he lining up for... Oh! Massive roundhouse kick to the jaw. And Trevor Jackson has Woodward now in a bad position, but Woodward refusing to give in. This is his big opportunity, and looking to capitalize on it. He's going to go for the cover there off the shoulder tackle, and he gets a 2 count. Wilson Woodward probably already feeling like he's been robbed in this match, and I don't blame him. I'm not sure where the hell that rope break came from, but the referee calls it. Now Wilson Woodward gets him back to his feet. Might have been looking for something big there, but Jackson had an answer to it. Now Trevor Jackson drags him to the middle of the ring. Oh, and there's a neck snap. And of course, we've seen varied success from Trevor Jackson when he's in the ring. But now look at this. There's a knee strike. Knee strike to Woodward. Is that going to be enough? Is Trevor Jackson going to the chamber? No, it's a 2 count. The knee strike couldn't get the job done for Trevor Jackson. And now he needs to come up with something bigger. But I'm not sure what Trevor Jackson has left in the tank. This is by far well, this is obviously the most he's had in ring time in several months now. Whereas Wilson Woodward's been keeping himself active and forcing his way into the card despite the general manager not really giving him the easiest of times in doing that. Look at that. A leg sweep and he crashes onto the bottom rope. And now hyping himself up, screaming at the crowd here. Trevor Jackson. What's he got in store? Look at this. Oh, and there's a suplex. From behind, and he's not done there. He wants another one to Woodward. And Trevor Jackson with 3 massive German suplexes. And now he's going to go for the cover. Pushes him away from the ropes here. Is that going to be enough to put away Woodward? Trevor Jackson advances. Trevor Jackson comes back with a bang and is qualified for the Elimination Chamber. Well, Wilson Woodward put up a fight but couldn't get it done. Let's look at this again. I'm curious to see if there really is a rope break here. Oh, they're not going to show it on the replay, of course not. And there's the roundhouse kick that's changed momentum. But it was the 3 German suplexes that wrapped things up for Trevor Jackson. And what a massive return it is for this man. Trevor Jackson returns to in-ring action and now has himself a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, Wilson Woodward is not going to be happy about this, not for 1 second. But he picks up the victory here tonight, Trevor Jackson, and now has himself a World Heavyweight Championship shot on his return. What a big night that is for him, but it is time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up, before the main event, we have the second qualifier now, as we just saw Trevor Jackson made a glorious return to in-ring action to qualify for the World Heavyweight Championship. And now, William Hale makes his way down to the ring to do the same. And after final conflict, William Hale and J.W Cashman went to the GM to complain even further, but the GM made it clear that they had their opportunity and they backfired. But what he did promise them was a chance at the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber match, as he sees the potential in them. Only catch is that they have to face each other for it. So William Hale will be facing J.W Cashman for a spot in the Elimination Chamber match. Well, of course, William Hale, one of the newest acquisitions to the Fight Night roster, started on Mayhem, has made his way over. And this man we've seen do things that most people haven't even been able to do. And one of those things, beating Stephen Miller and making him tap out to the guillotine. That was quite an impressive feat on its own. He couldn't walk out the winner of that match, but he managed to get the submission victory over William Hale, over Stephen Miller in that fatal 4-way. And of course, these two worked pretty well as a team in that Four Corners tag team match, but their lack of tag team experience couldn't get the job done. Cashman was a part of the final 2, though. It came back to where it all started at that Road to Glory finals, except a different result. Cashman couldn't pin Alex Wilson in the end. But tonight, these two have to collide in the ring against each other, and we don't know the extent of William Hale's and J.W Cashman's relationship. We don't know if they're friends or they're going to be permanent tag team partners. We don't know, but tonight they have to put all their friendships or potential conflicts they have aside to focus on one goal tonight, and that is a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity that J.W Cashman feels he's been deserving all along, because he is furious that he's been held up in these petty little fights, and that, of course, Alex Wilson comes on and makes his debut to get a championship match, and J.W Cashman hasn't had one. Bell rings and away we go between the two people who tried to put an end to Alex Wilson at Final Conflict, but were unfortunately unsuccessful. But they did put up one hell of a fight. William Hale and J.W Cashman really did impress as a tag team. And I'm sure that people would love to see more of them in the future as a tag team. Of course, we know what they're capable of. They have that beautiful, unique blend there. We're looking for a shooting star press, but Cashman couldn't connect. They have a very unique blend, these two. William Hale one of them slow burner fighters. He likes to wear you down gradually, uses technical fighting to his advantage. And J.W Cashman, more of a one punch power done, one power punch and done kind of guy. Likes to just knock you out straight away, and he knows we know he can do that with the $1 million shot. He did that last week in the final conflict matchup itself to pick up the second to last elimination, I believe, on Carter James, or it may have been KO Oxley. I'm not 100% sure. It was one of those two. But William Hale and Cashman tonight, they can't concentrate on working together for the second, because tonight they have to worry about trying to get rid of the other, because only one of them is going to the chamber. But I'm sure that if these two are going to be friends and allies, which I'm assuming they are, because not a lot of people trust Cashman because of the way he's been acting. So if William Hale has found the trust to team with him, then he must have some kind of respect for what Cashman does and what he tries to do in the ring. So assuming that they are friends, well, let's hope they don't lose that friendship here tonight. And there's William Hale with the clothesline. One thing we know about William Hale, can take a hit, but how big of a hit, we'll have to find out, because one of the heaviest hitters in the game is who he steps in the ring with here tonight. A beautiful DDT from the middle rope there from William Hale. And he's going to go in the cover off of it, and he's only going to get a 1. So far in the Elimination Chamber, Max Danger, Peter Bolton, and Peter Bolton, Trevor Jackson, and Max Danger, of course, the current World Heavyweight Champion, all in the match. Wolfpac Alex Wilson missed out on a chance to get in there last week after he lost to the champion. Obviously, by not the conventional means, it took like 3 separate distractions just to keep him out of the match for good. And a snap suplex there from J.W Cashman, who's now trying to advance further here. There's the Northern Lights, and now bridging through. J.W Cashman lining it up. Oh, and a beautiful brainbuster. Oh, and he landed awkwardly there as he bounced off the rope. Did you see that? And now from here, he could have, there's 2 options. There's that 630 senton, but we know that $1 million shot is there lined up as well. Hale needs to fight back though, and he tries to do so here, and there's a beautiful drop kick. Playing to the crowd, but neither of these two exactly fan favourites. I guess that's why they were perfect for each other as well in the tag team division. Oh, but well escaped there by J.W Cashman. And now he's in a perfect position, and I figured he'd go for it. He was lined up perfectly here. William Hale looking for the 630 senton here. J.W Cashman connects with the senton. And into the cover. Is that going to be enough to wrap up William Hale? It's a 2. And the senton not quite as effective as the $1 million shot, but it does the damage. And J.W Cashman showing off his cruiserweight abilities here. Definitely in that cruiserweight category. Potential cruiserweight champion candidate. I don't know. I probably won't say yes, because then he'd be the victim of assault from Jake Griffiths. So, J.W Cashman in control of the match right now. But William Hale, as we know, has the potential to fire back in this match at any given moment. As I said, he can take a punch, and he proved it there by surviving the 630 senton. But Cashman is on a roll here tonight, trying to get himself a championship opportunity for the biggest prize on Fight Night, the World Heavyweight Championship. And now the Northern Lights one more time and follows through again. The crowd getting hyped as the Brainbuster connects in the ring. And Cashman has got this man in a very bad place. William Hale is struggling here. And now look at this. There's a neck snap as he dragged him closer into the ring. Will try to fight back again, William Hale, but hit with the uppercut. And a million shot. No, he caught it. He tried to throw him off guard there by throwing the uppercut first, but the $1 million shot is countered. And another counter this time by J.W Cashman, who gets him up on the shoulders. And now look at this. Oh, and a beautiful slam onto the face. Very nice there by Cashman. Well, he couldn't line up the $1 million shot. Landed the uppercut, but couldn't get the rest of it done. And now look at this. Irish whip to the corner. Oh, and Hale tried to jump over him, but well read there. Well scouted by J.W Cashman. Oh, and there it is. The $1 million shot finally connects. And it's a rope break. He flipped him the wrong way. Hale survives on the rope break. But I'm pretty sure that was it. That $1 million shot, I'm pretty sure, must have wrapped up the job. But Hale, look at that. Beautiful dodge. And there's that technical prowess we were talking about. Oh, but look at this. He gets caught taunting here and into the roll-up. And the knockout punch might have already done the trick. But the 2 count still stands. Well, J.W Cashman, I'm sure, would love a crack at the World Heavyweight Champion, as would, I'm sure, William Hale. For both of them, it will be their first title opportunities outside of the tag team division, and their singles careers could finally excel. Could you imagine that, especially with King Sam out of the equation and Max Danger having to rely heavily on the others around him to get the results? It could be the easiest opportunity that either of these guys would have to walk out the winner and walk out with the World Championship. And Hale just doesn't have anything that J.W Cashman isn't getting the better of here tonight. Cashman is on a roll at this current moment. And now bringing him back up to his feet. I think one more big shot would have done it. And to be fair, I think the first one would have done it. But it was just poor ring positioning there from Cashman. And now look at this once again. Oh, and he scouted it one more time. And William Hale should have seen it coming the second time. Clearly it didn't work the first time. It wasn't going to work a second time. And there's the next snap. And now lining up for one more big $1 million shot. William Hale's in trouble. Boom! Right across the jaw. Needs to be careful with how he flips him. He wisely decides to drag him further away from the ropes before the flip. Into the cover. And Cashman's going to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Knocked out William Hale. And he adds him to the knocked out list. J.W Cashman with the $1 million shot. So lethal. As always, he picks up the victory here tonight and he qualifies for the Elimination Chamber. And these two friends before the match. Are they friends after? They're going to shake. Oh no, William Hale! William Hale with the low blow, and I guess that sums up that. Hale furious at his defeat, and he takes it out on J.W Cashman. Well, Cashman qualifies, and Hale doesn't. But I think that pretty much solidifies that they're not willing to tag team with each other anytime soon again. William Hale defeated, and J.W Cashman advances to the chamber. Let's move on to tonight's main event as things get a little bit heated between these two. Main event of this evening then, and as the general manager alluded to earlier, it's a 6-man tag team matchup. The Wolfpac will team with the ace Peter Bolton to take on the team of the Blood Brothers and Max Danger. And the first man down to the ring is Alex Wilson, ready to step up to the plate here tonight. Of course, last week took on Max Danger, the World Heavyweight Champion, one-on-one in the main event. And a lot of people have been saying in the comments, and a lot of people have been, and even the general manager pointed this out, he is a lot like Sam, but that is because he's King Sam's protege. Sam trained him and molded him into the person that he is today. And he is one half of the Fight Night Tag Team Champions. One of the two last surviving members of the Wolfpac, with Steve still out on the shelf, and King Sam still completely off the grid, off the radar. No one has even heard from him in weeks. And when he comes back, everybody's expecting big things. When he comes back, we have no idea. But tonight, of course, Alex Wilson not alone. And we'll be hoping that there are no more interruptions. Here comes his tag team partner, the other half of the tag team champions, of the two-time Fight Night Tag Team Champion himself, David Lees. And of course, he is the only other man, he is the only person on Fight Night to hold a tag team title twice. Everybody else has had one title reign. That includes Jason and Tyler Chaos, the Chaos Twins, and Alex Wilson himself, as well as Stephen Thomas. But David, with two separate title reigns, with two separate partners, but as he's been an efficient part of the Wolfpac, and I guess right now he kind of is going to act as the leader of the team, as the veteran of the two. But Alex Wilson has branched out himself here as the recent times, and he's colliding with the GM as if, almost as if he's taking over the shell of the mantle of King Sam for the time being. But David, as we know, the powerhouse of the team, the muscle of the group, and the true veteran of the team, has been there since the beginning, and it's Wolfpac for life. That's how they live and die. And their partner for tonight, I bet they were hoping that they'd have Steve or Sam back for tonight here in the 6-man tag team match, but instead, they get the first man to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. It is the ace, Peter Bolton, who's going to get his first taste at the World Heavyweight Champion here tonight, Max Danger, who is on the other side of the ring, whilst he's also helping him deal with the Blood Brothers. As the general manager said earlier, the Blood Brothers will be competing for the Fight Night Tag Team Championships against the Wolfpac in Lockdown. And of course, the Lockdown building and building, so epic matches being planned for that card. The Ace, a part of what's going to be one of the main attractions of it, and that's the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber match, beating Dino D, destroying Dino D, to be fair, to win this opportunity. And Dino D since then has had a television championship shot, which he was unable to cash in on, unfortunately. But the Ace has taken his chance. Can he do it? Can he use it wisely? Tonight he teams with the Wolfpac, and you can't get much more safer than having those two watching over your back. But tonight they've got a tough task in Bruiser Brad and Big Boss, the Blood Brothers, who last week ambushed Alex Wilson in his match to attempt to qualify for the chamber, and he beat him down outside the ring while Max Danger distracted the ref. And of course, Max Danger was also distracted by the general manager himself, who has promised will not make any appearance here tonight at ringside. He has guaranteed it himself. But for Big Boss and Bruiser Brad, they've been granted a tag team title opportunity after helping the GM through that and helping them ambush to keep Alex Wilson and the Wolfpac out of the World Heavyweight Championship match. So it is guaranteed now, especially with this match booked, that the Wolfpac will not walk out of that pay-per-view that is Lockdown, the World Heavyweight Champions. And as long as they don't have that, the general manager clearly feels that they've got the opportunity, they got the upper hand to take control. And the last man down to the ring, the World Heavyweight Champion, who hasn't had the best of starts to his title reign, but he is starting to take control. The general manager has put a lot of faith in this young man, the protege of the Danger family. It is, of course, the son of the legendary Chris Danger. It is Max Danger, the World Heavyweight Champion. Cashed in his money in the bank at Hellfire following the general manager's beatdown. And since then, he has been helping them quite a bit. And King Sam, of course, out of action. Max Danger hopefully isn't expecting an easy run, because he does have to do this Elimination Chamber. And of course, neither of the Blood Brothers nor the general manager is going to be able to help him once he's locked inside that cage. Max Danger's going to have to live up to his word, step up in the cage, and come out the champion if he wants to continue the legacy in this era that the general manager has been alluding to for weeks. Well, Alex Wilson's going to start this one off, and it's Big Boss that steps up to start this one off as well. And look at the size difference between Max Danger and Big Boss. Look at that, trying to charge at him straight away, Alex Wilson, but Big Boss said no. Takes him down to both knees and just beats away on him. And as I mentioned, of course, the Blood Brothers attacking Alex Wilson last week during his match with the World Heavyweight Champion Max Danger. And as a result, went on to lose via submission as the Max Lock was applied on a vulnerable Alex Wilson, who is after trying to fight back here, but Big Boss just not going even down to a knee at this point. Oh, there's an arm drag, but look at that. Straight back to his feet. There's a Hurricane Iron. Very well done by Alex Wilson to get him off his feet. And now to the middle rope. Alex Wilson looking to fly. Looking to capitalize here. Can he? What's he going for here? Oh, and there's a double knees. Right to the skull. And that's kept him down. He's cornered, appealing for a tag, but not going to get it. And now Irish whip to the corner. Might make the first tag of the match. He does. In comes the ace, Peter Bolton. And there's the leg takedown and an elbow drop to the back. And the ace. Oh, look at that. Trying to stop the tag being made. But in comes the World Heavyweight Champion. And Peter Bolton going to get a taste now of what to expect when he steps into the chamber with this man at Lockdown. And a beautiful move there. And Peter Bolton not backing down from the World Heavyweight Champion for a second. He wants to walk out of Lockdown, the World Heavyweight Champion. Max Danger, of course, remember, the third ever World Heavyweight Champion. First was original Brad, which was then followed by King Sam. And now look at this. Wrenching away on the legs. He's being smart here. He knows if he locks in the Max Lock, after all this, he definitely is on track to go and win the match. Now look at this to the outside. Oh, and just tosses him out. And Max Danger, a lethal fighter. We knew that before. We saw at Uprising when he became the WIW champion. When he became the first ever WIW Mr. Money in the Bank. We knew he was destined for big things, but we didn't expect these type of things. Max Danger almost taking his family legacy and putting it behind him. Of course, Chris Danger, he had his moments of doubt. He had his moments where he turned his back on the universe, but Chris Danger never, ever sided with the authorities of Triple H back in the WWE days or any of the companies he ever faced in. Peter Bolton gets him back in the ring at the count of 7, and in comes David. The powerhouse of the team gets himself back in the ring, gets himself in the ring for the first time, excuse me. And of course, remember, David already has a victory against the World Heavyweight Champion and beat him down with a chair not too long ago. And now David working away on him here. He's doing a great job. Now just applying the pressure to the chest region of the World Heavyweight Champion. And Bruiser Brad yet to tag in here. No Theodore Adam Wright as a ringside. A general manager promised no more interventions at ringside. Of course, he's not even making an appearance here tonight, but then again, he said that last week. We'll see how long that sticks. Oh, and Max just able to tag out, and back in comes Big Boss. And David did well to duck under the clothesline there of Big Boss, but look at this. The overwhelming power of David. Oh, God, I love this move. So sharp, so vicious. Oh, and that's 600 pounds he just lifts with ease. And David, we know, has that strength. He is so powerful. He lifts even the biggest of guys with almost zero strain, zero effort. A true power lifter indeed, and you can see that in him. But Big Boss refusing to back down as easily. A lot of weight, a lot of force, a lot of power himself, and of course the Blood Brothers needing the practice for what is scheduled to be a big tag team matchup. Oh, look at this. Looking to use the weight. There's a crossbody. Lethal move that must be. David trying to crawl away to make the tag, but couldn't make it to either side, either partner. And Alex Wilson and Peter Bolton just have to watch on as David suffers the wrath of the Blood Brothers. Of course, being a steel cage or a Hell in a Cell match, we don't quite know what the general manager has in store, but of course every match is a cage match, so it's going to make things hard for that team indeed. And now look at this. Max Danger has the big man in the ring by himself, but look at that. David reverses the Falcon Arrow and now scoop up slam to the world champion, and he's left flattened in the middle of the ring. Well, wisely Max tried to tag in, and once the Blood Brothers had reasserted the control of the match, but David now wearing a way down on Max's leg. And wouldn't it be bittersweet if David was to lock in the Max lock and put away Max Danger? But look at this. Looking for something bigger. There's the driver onto the knee. And he's going straight into the cover. That's put him away before. Is he going to do it again? It's a 2 count. When Alex Wilson tried to stop Bruiser Brad from getting involved there, but ended up just getting laid out here. Oh, and a sidewalk slam to Wilson. Oh, and Bruiser Brad tried to save Max Danger there, but he's taken out by David. And David, who has the world champion in some trouble, was looking for maybe the full package pile driver, couldn't connect, and now look at this beautiful move by Max Danger to try and get the control, and the Blood Brothers helping him out in abundance here. And now Max Danger, the world heavyweight champion, has David lined up for the super kick. No, he dodges it. He escapes again. And now to his corner, maybe looking to tag in Peter Bolton and get out of there. Max says no. And Max gets behind. There's the suplex. And did you see how sharply he crashed into the turnbuckle? Big impact, and Max tags out. Bruiser Brad, I believe, in for the first time in this match. And look at this. Big Boss saying, no, it's your turn to get in there. Bit of communication there from the team, of course. And they need to make sure they're on the same page. They proved to be against Def Lordicus and Harry at the Final Conflict pay-per-view. They seem to step up together when they're in pay-per-views, yet to lose as a tag team in pay-per-views. Of course, they've only appeared in 2 tag team matches as of then, and one of them was not against a recognized tag team. Oh, and look at that, just tossing him across the ring. David too far away to try and crawl and make the tag. And now Bruiser Brad getting use his weight to his advantage. And now Big Boss is tagged back right in. And the Blood Brothers doing a good job of doing the beating down, wearing him down, and then when Max Danger comes in is when they are vulnerable, because we know Max Danger has that potential to wrap it up. And now look at this. Irish whip to the corner. Might be looking to tag here. He does. And he tags his partner. Oh my God, look at this. Alex Wilson learning from Steve. Sleeping with the Wolves. And we haven't seen that since Steve was out injured. But look how quickly Bruiser Brad gets his way back into the ring. Sleeping with the Wolves. And did you see the reaction from the crowd as Alex Wilson came in? Oh my God, look at that. He got caught in midair. Try to go for the Hurricane Runner again, but Big Boss just lays him out flat. And Alex Wilson refusing to give in here to the big guys. Alex Wilson and David with the sleeping with the Wolves, and that got the crowd off their feet. And Alex Wilson becoming a fully pledged member to the Wolfpac. He already is committed and devoted to Wolfpac for life, more than just a saying. And these two working well together. They're really starting to learn the ropes with each other, really getting comfortable with each other as tag team partners. Of course, remember, only really been tag teaming with each other for the last month, where they won the tag team titles. But other than that, not really. Now the ace, Peter Bolton, is tagged in to deal with Bruiser Brad. These two, I don't believe, have had a running as of yet. But, Peter Bolton getting his first taste of everything here tonight. And of course, one of the 4 men that we now know to be participating in the Elimination Chamber match. The other 2 now known as Trevor Jackson and J.W Cashman. And we know Peter Bolton and J.W Cashman have had their history in the past. Not exactly friends, and that's a bit of a big jump. I'm not sure if Bolton's going to make that. It's a bit ambitious, but he's going to fly anyway, and it misses on the double axe handle. Bruiser Brad now trying to power through, but Bolton really providing a problem. Spinebuster, he caught him. Spinebuster, and in the Wolfpac corner, he might be able to steal the victory here. It's a 2 count. The ace with the Spinebuster, and where did that come from? And now into the corner. Peter Bolton, that's not where he wants to be. Brad has him trapped, looking for that splash in the corner. Using his weight to his advantage. Wilson not being allowed in there by the referee. And Bolton's in trouble because you know what comes next. Tag in Big Boss. And now they're in trouble. Wilson desperately trying to get in the ring to save him. But Wilson hit with a half a ton of bricks. 1,200 pounds crashing onto the body of Peter Bolton. And is David going to be able to save the match? He does at the count of 2. Save the match, but that was it for Bolton. David was able to break him up, and now look at this. David taking on both of the Blood Brothers here right now. Looking to fly. Connects. Big Boss and Bruiser Brad struggling to deal here with the Wolfpac. And 2 men down in the ring. Peter Bolton, look at him in such discomfort, as you would expect to be after being hit with 1,200 pounds directly to your chest and head region. That's going to leave a mark, indeed. And the ace back to his feet. Of course, was gaining some momentum just before that big move, and now might be coming to fruition here, using the last of his energy to land the big one. Can he steal the win here? Big Boss is in trouble. Look at this. Peter Bolton, ace in the hole. Ace in the hole to Big Boss and into the cover. No one's coming to make the save. Is Big Boss going to be able to kick out? He does it too. Big kick out there. And he keeps the match alive, but running on just pure instinct at this point. Peter Bolton managing to survive. And look at this, he's going to tag out wisely. He does. And also a tag on the other end. Back in comes Bruiser Brad. And Max Danger keeping himself out here. And the referee gets taken out as Alex Wilson sidesteps the kick. And Alex Wilson doing what he can here, but it's quite a noticeable size mismatch. Oh, this is a good place to have him, though. This might be easier than having to lift him up. Sets him up perfectly here. Super kick, and did you see the awkwardness there for Bruiser Brad? Nowhere really to run to. And now might be able to steal the cover here on Bruiser Brad. Max Danger confident he's going to find a way to kick out, and he does. Max Danger waiting patiently for his chance to get back in the match. But he wants to come in when the right opportunity presents itself. And now Alex Wilson to the corner again. Might be thinking for another one here. Tags back in David. And now he's going to do the pile driver. David and Alex Wilson sleeping with the Wolves. And into the cover. Max Danger taking his time because it's near his corner. Comes in to break the count. But look at this. David going to make him pay for doing so. And hits him with an inverted DDT. And Max Danger rolls out the ring. But he's giving Bruiser Brad a chance to fight back now. And he's got him down. What's he thinking? Might have been going for the bonsai drop there. We haven't seen that in quite some time. Not since his solo days. But Big Boss. Oh, big strike to the gut there. from David. Oh, and David trading strikes with the big man, but the big man going to use his force. Well done there by Bruiser Brad to escape that hold. And now grabbing him by the neck here and sending him into the corner. David in a bad place here in the corner of the Blood Brothers, who make the tag once again. What are they going for here? Oh, and a big backbreaker. And looking for something else. Oh, and a beautiful suplex as well, and the big impact high up in the air. Both men over the height of 7 foot. So lifted quite up high in the air there is David. But David refusing to back in, looking for that pile driver onto the knee. Connects with the neck breaker pile driver. And now looking again for sleeping in the walls. Oh no, tag out was not successful. Big Boss with an answer. Big strike and a spear. And look at Max Danger looking confident here as Big Boss all of a sudden provides the fight back for the Blood Brothers. There's the neck breaker. And David trying to make the tag to Peter Bolton, but Big Boss refused to let it happen. It's such a close encounter. Both sides battered and beaten down. They've all given it their all here. But who can walk out the winner? Oh, David prevents the suplex from happening. Now once again trying to get him back into the Wolfpac corner. Looking for sleeping with the walls one more time potentially. Oh no, wait. Looking for that package pile driver steal. There it is. But following it through for a new generation combo. Using the momentum there to get the brainbuster. Well, the Wolfpac survive for the moment. And so do the Blood Brothers. Is this match actually going to come to an end? And these guys could go back and forth for hours, you got to imagine. Look at this, there's the suplex. Oh, and a big connection from the Big Boss. And the Big Boss has Wilson in a bad place here. Into his corner. Is he going to tag out? He does. Oh, but they're going to leave a message here to Alex Wilson. Wilson in trouble. Wilson, half a ton of bricks, crashing down on him. Big Boss and Bruiser Brad lays him down, and Wilson's in trouble here. David can't get there. Oh, he does get there. Just before the 3 count, David managed to evade. Oh, look at that. Danger in the sky. No, not danger in the sky. Eagle Eye, sorry. So many Danger Family trademarks. And he hits one there with the Eagle Eye. Bruiser Brad has Wilson and David down. And now look at this, try to spin him around. Wilson still fighting back though. Wilson refusing to give in. Super kick. Doesn't take him off his feet though. Oh, and look at this, once again caught in the air. And laid out with the power bomb. Oh, but wait a minute, David. David not done yet. To the corner. Oh, but David now into the opposite corner here by Bruiser Brad. David not the legal man, remember, but being beaten down and crashed into the corner with that weight of Bruiser Brad, who just takes out David out of the equation. But Alex Wilson still providing a fight back, and he might want to tag out here to Peter Bolton because he's in some serious jeopardy. Meanwhile, I believe that David is being dealt with by Big Boss on the outside. Now look at this, Wilson has him down and he's going to take advantage. Wise work here from Alex Wilson. What's Wilson doing here? He's grabbing the arms and what's this? Oh, he's tied him up in a knot. Oh, look at Bruiser Brad in an awkward position here. And look at this. Oh, and Wilson putting on a show for the crowd here tonight. He's becoming quickly a fan favourite, Alex Wilson. And now to the corner. Lining him up for that super kick one more time. It's going to be easier than landing the crossface Michinoku driver. And connects with that super kick in the corner. Now Alex Wilson. Where does he go from here? Playing to the crowd. Went for a shot to the stomach. Couldn't connect. And Bruiser Brad trying to fight back. There's a belly to belly. But there's the eye rake. And now look at this. What's he thinking here? DDT! DDT! Into the cover. Is that going to be enough to wrap up the match? No, it's not. Wolfpac couldn't get it done. Now bringing him to his corner. Needs to tag out here. He's tired and he's hurt. And he tags in the ace. Peter Bolton back in the match. And he's had his fair share of hits in this one as well. Of course, already been hit with half a ton of bricks. So, and what's this? Wilson saying he doesn't want to come back in. You got to do this one yourself for the moment. Wilson literally just tagged out. And Peter Bolton trying to run away and get out of here. But you can't blame him for not wanting to be in the match. He has taken the biggest hits of the match so far. And Bolton decides to tag in David instead since Alex refuses to come back in. Bruiser Brad had to take a moment just to step out there and recuperate. Oh, but look at this. Now gets caught in the corner. Might be looking for a tag again. This time he tags Peter Bolton. And he's going to look for the new generation combo again. The referee powerless to stop it. Another package pile driver from David into a brainbuster. Beautiful tag team work there. Oh, but look at this. Not enough done. There's a rake of the eyes from Bruiser Brad. Peter Bolton fights back still. Oh, look at this. Catches him again with the spinebuster. In the middle of the ring and into the cover. Is that going to be enough to steal it? Can he get it? Yes, he can. Peter Bolton gets it. Big Boss couldn't get there in time. And the Wolfpac and Peter Bolton get the job done in what was a hard-fought victory. What a win. The ace, Peter Bolton, with his second spinebuster to Bruiser Brad, got the job done. And somehow found the life after this crippling move right there. Found the life to fight back. That was the ace in the hole from earlier. What a match from all of these men. Everybody gave it their all. And you've got to imagine at lockdown, everyone is going to be fighting a million times harder when the title is put on the line for both Peter Bolton and the Wolfpac having to defend theirs as well. That is going to wrap up tonight's show in a massive tag team match, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and I hope you did as well. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.